this annual general meeting of electors for the 2024-25 year. I'll begin by acknowledging the continuing connection of Aboriginal people to country, culture and community, including traditional custodians of this land, the Wadandi and Kaniang people of the Noongar Nation, paying respects to elders past and present. We declare the meeting open at 3 p.m. In attendance, we have to my right Deputy President Alex Purick and Councillor Tyler Hall, Councillor Anita Lindeman, Councillor Amanda McNabb and Councillor Grant Patrick. Staff present are our Chief Executive Officer Nick O'Connor, Director of Operations Ross Marshall, Director of Finance and Community Colin Young, Executive Manager Corporate Lauren Clifford and Finance Project Manager Stuart Eaton. Is he here today? No? Sorry. And Administration Officer Corporate Samantha Farquhar. Welcome to everybody in the public gallery, including past President Angelo Legiudice. For the first time, the annual general meeting is being live streamed and digitally recorded. Members of the public are reminded that no other visual or audio recording of this meeting by any other means is allowed without permission of the chairperson. While every endeavour is made to only record those who are actively participating in the meeting, loud noises may be picked up on the recording. Just some housekeeping. The annual general meeting is less formal than our ordinary council meeting, but it still does have some rules which are set out on page 2 and 3 of the agenda. Or you can scan the QR code on this slide to find the documents for the meeting. Key points to note are that each person attending is required to record their name and address on entry, and while all community members are welcome to attend, participation is restricted to electors who are eligible to vote in the Shire of Donnybrook-Balingups local government elections. The 24-25 financial year was our first full year as a Shire governed by a democratically elected council since the dissolution of council in 2022. Simply reaching the milestones presented within the annual report reflects the strength of our community's voice and our shared resolve to work better together to shape a sustainable and inclusive future. As we reflect on the achievements of this report, I want to acknowledge the contribution of everyone involved, our whole community. Thank you for your collaboration, dedication and support for each other. The purpose of the general report is to demonstrate performance against the 10-year council plan spanning 2022 to 2032, which contains the number of outcomes put forward by the community. Each outcome has been grouped into 5 priority areas: people, planet, place, performance and prosperity. Each outcome is supported by objectives, with projects designed to ensure the objectives are achieved. Projects are scheduled to occur in the financial year when it is expected that there will be capacity and funds available for delivery. This presentation demonstrates our performance in delivering the projects that were set for delivery in the 24-25 financial year, along with the corresponding financial performance and audit opinion. As we go through the presentation, I'll refer to the irrelevant pages of the report, of the annual report, if you happen to be following along with that, especially if you're watching the live stream at a later time. Some facts that influence strategic planning and decision making. Our residential population is sitting at 6,312 with an average age of 48.7 years, with the largest group aged between 65 and 69 years. Our total land area is 156,000 hectares, and of this, 6.8% is protected land, including reserves and conservation areas, and 16.2% is agricultural land. Households number 2,305, with an average 2.4 people per household. There are 1,706 families, with an average of 2.8 people per family, and families with children have an average of 1.9 children. There are 699 registered businesses in the Shire, and of these, 306 are agricultural businesses. At the 30th of June 2025, there were 2,774 employed community members earning an average annual income of $51,170. There were 9 councillors in office during the reporting period. Pages 8 to 10 show their attendance at meetings and facts about age and gender diversity. Notably, 78% or 7 of the 9 councillors were aged over 55, and 67% or 6 of the 9 councillors identified as female. Details are also provided about the Office of the Chief Executive Officer. Within the reporting period, there was a temporary CEO and acting CEO prior to the permanent appointment of Mr. Nick O'Connor, who commenced in the role in October 2024. Page 12 lists the services provided by the Shire with information on age and gender diversity of the 64.7 full-time equivalent staff members. We'll now move into reviewing the performance across the 5 priority areas. Across all of the priority areas, there were 26 projects assigned for delivery. Of these, 10 are 100% completed. 9 projects may be ongoing in subsequent years or are still progressing towards completion. 6 projects are on hold, awaiting further information, or possibly we are still sourcing grant funding. And 1 item has been deferred because it hasn't been able to be delivered in the current year. One objective within the people priority is to improve access to facilities and services that support community health and wellbeing. Project 2.1.4 advocates for vital health services and facilities within our Shire. To this aim, councillors regularly attended meetings and participated as members of the Leschenault-Wellington District Health Advisory Committee. This project is listed as in progress because it will continue into future years. Public safety and emergency services are supported by 15 emergency services appliances, including light tankers, SES vehicles and support trailers. In 24-25, brigades attended 161 incidents, including bushfires, rubbish and vehicle fires, natural hazards and road accidents. An estimated 355 hectares of our Shire was burnt by bushfires and fire mitigation activity. Brigades are made up of 515 members, including 79 non-active members. Membership includes 2 junior members. With focus on health and wellbeing, the Donnybrook Recreation Centre's performance is captured on page 16 of the report. There were 29,002 admissions to the centre. 41.8% of these were drive-side entries for gym or for the stadium for basketball, netball and indoor soccer. 58.2% were wet-side entries for pool use. There were 2,233 program admissions, and notably 72% of these were admissions to the Strength for Life program. There were 253 Recreation Centre members at the end of the reporting period, including 234 new member registrations. Most popular programs to be attended are the gym-only sessions, the Gym Plus Swim and the over 50s. Library services at Donnybrook Ballingup are presented on page 17 of the report. There were 25,251 items checked out or renewed, including books, audiobooks, magazines, newspapers, DVDs and local history items. At the Donnybrook Library, storytime sessions attracted 275 children and were a popular way to introduce children to the wide range of books and activities. A significant event for the Donnybrook Library was the Funfest extravaganza held in March last year. This free event included fun and educational activities to celebrate the facility's 25th anniversary and over 70 years serving the community under the state lending scheme. The Disability Access and Inclusion Plan was adopted by Council in 2024. Details of the progress made across the 7 outcomes are captured on pages 19 to 21 of the report. And outcome 1 of the plan is for people with disability to have the same opportunities as other people to have access to Shire services and events. Achievements included the quiet spaces or chill zones made available at Shire events and development of a mobile sensory tent for hire at local community events. A quick win was identified to remove a weekend footpath hazard along South West Highway simply by changing the Monday bin collections to Tuesday. Outcome 2 of the Disability Access and Inclusion Plan is for people with disability to have the same opportunities as other people to access buildings and facilities within the Shire. To this aim, the VC Mitchell Park Community Club and Sporting Precinct has implemented universal access principles throughout. This exceeds the Australian standards and the Disability Discrimination Act compliance requirements. The Shire has also commenced a review of our community halls to assess where access can be improved. This completes the project highlights within the people priority. We move on to Planet. The Planet priority groups all of the objectives and projects that focus on a shared commitment to sustainability, leaving each place better than we found it. Details of the Planet area are on pages 22 to 27 of the report. 7 items were allocated for action in 24-25, with 3 achieved, 2 in progress, and 2 being monitored. One outcome in this area is to care for the natural environment, including pest and weed management. Project 3.1.2 looks to identify opportunities for community volunteers to take part in environmental projects. To this aim, and working collaboratively with the Leschenault Catchment Council, the Shire has supported weed management and revegetation efforts along the Preston River in Donnybrook. This work is restoring native habitat, enhancing biodiversity, and improving erosion control. Eradication of bamboo on the north and south banks of the Preston River has been a key focus. And similarly, the Shire, with the Leschenault Biodiversity Group and neighbouring landowners, have completed a rabbit baiting program to reduce feral rabbit populations in the Preston River area. Project 3.2.4 aims to provide support for emergency services volunteers. The delivery of flexible local training sessions was a highlight, as well as sessions held in neighbouring local governments to encourage engagement with brigades across the southwest. Attendance at regional prescribed burns and bushfire emergencies to build capacity and strengthen interagency collaboration with the Department of Fire Emergency Services and Department of Biodiversity Conservation and Attractions was also held. Implementation of the SMS system to advise harvest and vehicle movement bans occurred, and announcement by Jodie Hans, MLA, of the success in attracting $1.6 million in grant funding for a new facility for the Argyle Irish Town Bushfire Brigade. Continuing with Project 3.2.4, a $270,840 mitigation activity grant was secured from DFIS at the end of reporting period, with mitigation work scheduled to commence in the 25-26 current period. 4 brand new firefighting appliances were received at the Argyle Irish Town, Loudon, Malaliup and Upper Capel bushfire brigades. Each vehicle ensures crew safety and improves equipment reliability. A significant achievement in environmental sustainability and management was achieved by working with Collie Shire in a joint program which attracted $52,353 in funding for blackberry treatment, and 85 hectares of land were treated for blackberry, including 23 properties. And this completes the presentation of just some of the achievements in the Planet Priority area. Moving into Place, which includes objectives and projects for a responsibly planned district with a retained sense of community and country charm. Details appear on pages 28 to 33 of the report. 7 projects have been allocated for action in 24-25. 2 have been achieved, 2 are in progress, and 2 are being monitored, while 1 has been deferred. Project 6.2.1 supports the energy efficiency pilot program to help residents and businesses build energy literacy and implement efficiency measures. This includes promotion of the practical tools available to support sustainable practices and energy home audit kits made available to loan for free at the Donnybrook Library. Project 6.4.2 enables growth of the urban tree canopy by funding and supporting a community tree planting program with 800 plants and trees supplied during the reporting period. Moving on to Place, which includes objectives and projects for a responsibly planned district with a retained sense of community and country charm. Whoops, I've gone back one. Bear with me a moment, I'm just finding the right slides. I think we've got it, yeah. Here we are. Okay, still on Place. Interesting performance statistics about local development and infrastructure include the receipt of 440 development applications and issuing 480 approvals and permits. At the end of the reporting period, there were 138 businesses registered, and 120 of these were food businesses. 1,035 maintenance requests were received, and 527.5 kilometres of roads were graded. 13 infrastructure projects were delivered, including 3 renewed and replaced, including the Irish Town Bridge emergency repairs, and 5 upgraded and sealed roads across Kirrup, Yabberup, Grimwade and Balingup town sites. 5 new projects were delivered, including cemetery works and the VC Mitchell Park car park upgrades. More detail is provided on page 32 of the reports. And this concludes the performance in the Place priority area. Under prosperity, the 4th outcome area of the Council Plan, which contains objectives and projects set to deliver a strong, diverse and resilient economy. Details can be found on pages 35 to 39 of the report. Under this priority area, 2 projects were allocated for action in 24-25, one is in progress, and one is being monitored. One objective for growing a thriving economy is to facilitate access to quality education, training, and work opportunities. Project 9.4.1 explores opportunities for apprenticeships and traineeships to provide more employment opportunities within the Shire's workforce. To this aim, the Shire supported a local student through work experience placement and identified a traineeship program as a strategic priority in workforce planning. Events contribute significantly towards prosperity for our Shire, especially when it comes to strengthening community connection. Australia Day 2025 saw the Shire's main event held at Pavilion 1 of the BC Mitchell Park Community Club and featured an Australian citizenship ceremony, Community Citizen of the Year awards, live music and entertainment, including a group nutbush dance. Local community groups and vendors provided food and drinks, and a number of hamlets held their Australia Day breakfasts on the same day. Meaningful steps have been taken to engage with younger members of our community. Brookfest was held at the pump track, providing free entry and activities including live music and music workshops for aspiring musicians, provided by Benny Mayhem. The Bucking Bull was incredibly well received and proved to be the most popular activity of the event. Bike rescue, conducted by Dismantle, ran once again for young people, with students at Donnybrook District High School embracing the program. Following its success, the program has been integrated into the school's annual curriculum. Support for the Baling Up Arts and Cultural Hub, known as BARC, continued into the third and final year of a service level agreement with a Shire contribution of $8,000. This partnership has delivered social and cultural benefits, supported community wellbeing, and supported local creative industries. Highlights included 12 professional music and theatre performances, 74 events ranging from professional shows to community activities, including a 2-day wedding expo featuring 15 Shire-based businesses. In addition, there were 44 weekly choir sessions held, plus a dozen monthly dance sessions, both supporting intergenerational participation. BARC has paid $15,110 directly to artists, ensuring fair compensation for their work. BARC has also invested locally through hall hire, catering, and technical services, helping to create unique cultural experiences and strengthening our vibrant community. And this completes the presentation on the area of prosperity. Under performance, the final priority area of the Council plan, objectives focus on open, robust conversations and harmonious outcomes. 6 items were allocated for action in 24-25, with 2 achieved, 3 in progress, and 1 being monitored. Details of the performance priority can be found on pages 40 to 46 of the report. The first objective within performance is to provide strategically focused, open and accountable governance. Project 11.1.1 required an annual review of key informing strategies to the integrated planning and reporting framework, which in turn informs the annual budget. Comprehensive reviews of several key informing strategies were conducted as part of the annual practice, reinforcing Council's commitment to transparency and informed decision-making. This resulted in mid-year budget review being delivered in March 2025, the asset management plans and financial informing plans delivered in April 2025, and the long-term financial plan and workforce plan delivered in May 2025. Project 12.1.1 outlines that we will facilitate grants that reduce expenditure uncover alternative revenue options, and leverage council resources to address key community priorities and implement significant projects. Excuse me. Achievements included sourcing external funding to reduce impact on ratepayers for a range of activities and enhancement of projects, including installation of lighting at the VC Mitchell Park tennis courts, renewable energy initiatives at the Donnybrook Recreation Centre, and air conditioning at the Bailing Up Recreation Centre. A commitment to resourceful governance resulted in successful grant applications, including $3,000 from the Department of Communities to support Brookfest, $27,500 from the Department of Communities for a childcare attraction and retention, which contributed towards 8 additional childcare places in the Shire, and this is a vital economic enabler. $13,750 from the Department of Creative Industries, Tourism and Support to support the Bike Rescue Program. $10,000 from Australia Day Council of WA to support Australia Day celebrations. And $8,390 from the National Australia Bank for 2 water tanks installed at Yabberup Hall. They were secured on behalf of the Yabberup Community Association. Project 13.1.1 is ongoing and supports community initiatives through community grants, donations and in-kind support. This work enables community organisations and community champions to deliver services and projects to meet local needs. A total of $22,000 was made available, with funding awarded to 12 applicants, including $2,000 awarded to the Yabberup Community Association's Promote Preston subcommittee to contribute toward building a Promote Preston website. And the Blackwood River Arts Trail, or BRAT, as the acronym has, 2025 was a collaborative effort between BRAC and BARC, with each being awarded $1,545. For BARC, initially to launch the Arts Trail, and for the Arts Trail to bring a film festival to Bailing Up. And $2,000 was awarded to the Donnybrook Social Club for physiotherapy equipment to enhance the experience and benefits of the seated chair exercise classes for seniors at the Donnybrook Library. Minor grants and donations also occur year on year, with the Shire Support Initiatives, or SSI, contributing $6,047 throughout the reporting period. This was made up of $1,300 for the provision of 50 rubbish bins and $4,747 for facility hire fee waivers. Recipients included the Bailing Up Small Farm Field Day, the Donnybrook Apple Festival, the Donnybrook District High School, primary and secondary school faction carnivals, and community play by Bailing Up primary school students and BARC's Shine project. And that might have been on that previous slide. I beg your pardon? Volunteering strengthens the connections that make up a strong community, creating a sense of community purpose and bringing to life community values like kindness, empathy and respect. Argyle Bushfire Brigade secured a $1,000 grant and, with further funding and support from the Shire, held Thank a Volunteer Day in December 2024, featuring a sausage sizzle, volunteer awards and a fun painting activity to decorate the Irish Town Recovery Sea Container. Based on this success, planning is underway for the next Volunteer Day, scheduled to coincide with National Volunteers Week in May 2026 and to become an annual event. The Shire website underwent a major refresh, going live in July 2024, and highlights include a modern design that balances accessibility and practicality, content review with over 85% of the pages rebuilt for accuracy, clarity and consistency. Additionally, a new corporate style guide has standardised documents and publications, and by the end of the 24-25 reporting period, there were 56,361 visits to the site, with 210,300 pages viewed and over 597,000 website events such as downloads, forms or submissions. Social media followers number 4,278, with 407 new followers in the 24-25 period. There were 3,455 content interactions through social media comments or reactions on our pages. And this completes the presentation of the performance priority area. And I'll just have a little drink before we move into financials. We're now moving into the annual financial statements and audit outcomes. The next 6 slides present a very high-level summary with details provided on page 53 to 99 of the annual report. The annual financial statements and the auditor's report were adopted by Council in December 2025. The audit found no material misstatements resulting in an unqualified audit opinion. There were no significant findings to be reported. And this, of course, means that we don't need to do a significant findings report. 4 financial statements make up the annual report, and combined they are the statutory health check of financial performance. They are the Statement of Comprehensive Income, the Statement of Financial Position, the Statement of Cash Flows, and the Statement of Financial Activity. The Statement of Comprehensive Income reports on the Shire's day-to-day operating revenue and expenditure. Revenue sits at 20.294 million and includes income from rates, fees and charges, subsidies, capital grants, profit from assets and sales, and other income. Expenditure was sitting at 20.254 million and includes employee costs, materials and contracts, utilities, insurance, loss from sale of assets, and other expenditure. And these together give a net result of 36,472 comprehensive income. The Statement of Financial Position provides an overview of the Shire's assets, liabilities and equity as at the 30th of June 2025. Total assets are at 223.8 million and total liabilities are at 13.2 million. Assets minus liabilities leave the Shire's equity sitting at $210.6 million. The Statement of Cash Flows aggregates all incoming cash flows received from the Shire's operating, investing and financing activities, with 9.4 million held at the 30th of June 2025. The Statement of Financial Activity, formerly known as the Rate Setting Statement, reports the opening and closing net current assets after the imposition of rates, along with all revenue and expenditure for the financial year. As at the 1st of July 2024, we opened with a surplus of 2.3 million. General rates were then imposed to give a variation of 423,000. And we are pleased to say that the year closed with a surplus of 1.89 million. However, of this, 1.2 million represents a prepayment by the government for our 25-26 financial assistance grant. Plus, there was unfinished project funds to be carried forward into the 25-26 year. and this left us with a very favourable surplus of $680,000. And this concludes the presentation of the annual report. We now move back to the agenda at item 3.2 for questions relating to the annual report. Does anyone have any questions regarding the annual report? Thank you. Angelo? At the annual, if it's about the annual report now, and then we take questions regarding anything else in after? Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. We didn't have any questions submitted prior to the meeting either on the annual report, which will take us through to item 3.2. Sorry, item 3. Onto item 4, general business. So questions received in writing from electors, we have none. And we will take any that we might want to take from the floor. Angelo, now's the time. Okay. Did you want to move up to the podium, Angelo, and just say your name and your address?
Good afternoon, staff and councillors. My name is Angelo Legiudice. I just through the chair, I just want to ask a question in regards to the borrowing capacity of this shire. And the reason I ask that question is simply in terms of looking at how we move forward with, say, community housing or any of that sort of infrastructure. So just interested to know what the borrowing capacity might be.
Thank you, Mr. Legiudice. And I will pass that over to the Director of Finance and Community.
Through the chair, thank you very much. Look, the borrowing capacity at the moment, I wouldn't recommend that the Shire would go anywhere over about 7 or 8 million that we could borrow. We're currently sitting just below 3 million. If we looked at the government ratios and benchmarks for it, we could probably go a bit further to about 10 million, but that would be probably a stretch on the finances.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I ask another question?
Yes.
Yeah. Just in relation to this lot out here, it's sort of been sitting around for a long time. What possibility would it be to actually get something moving on that? The reason being, we've got a lot of people around that are looking for community housing or aged or whatever. I've probably got a thought of a different nature in regards to how we could move forward, but I just want to get an idea. Always
willing to hear everybody's thoughts, and I love the way we're all working in that space, working together. But I'll throw that over to CEO.
Yeah, so Thanks very much, Shire President. Thanks for your question, Mr. Legiudice. It's really a timely question based on where we are in the Shire with our housing stock, and not only our Shire, but WA and Australia through the housing crisis. And it is a housing crisis at all levels, be it for the family home and the barriers for people entering into that, for young people entering into the housing market, as well as those that are at the margin at community housing, that as well. So we've already had some preliminary discussions around potential future use for the block out the back here, the Victory Lane precinct, and it's certainly this calendar year, so it'll straddle over 2 financial years. We'll be undertaking an options analysis, but underpinned by community engagement and getting the community's pulse, I guess, on what are some of the options moving forward for that parcel out the back. So it's very much front and centre on the agenda moving forward. And as you are no doubt aware, we're in the throes of reviewing our community council plan as well, and that'll be a strategic initiative that comes out of that as well at this stage. Okay, so I'll probably have more to say then. But the two link together, the question that I asked about the borrowing capacity and this lot out the back sort of links together. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Legiudice. Are there any other questions of a general nature? Right, thank you. That takes us through to motions received in writing from electors, and again, we have no motions put forward. If there were any from the floor, we can look at those now. Okay. Since there are no motions, we can now move to closure. And I can advise that the next agenda briefing session will be held on the 18th of February 2026, commencing at 3 p.m. in the Shire of Donnybrook Balingup Council Chamber. And we will declare the meeting closed at 3:40 p.m. Thank you.